Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. I don't know what that means. Well, let's see. Let's just unlock it. Let's try it back. I'm going to go back a minute here. Hey, Mad Dog. Are you seeing me the right way, or am I sideways? Because I have the phone in... I have the phone in landscape mode. I'm sideways. Oh. Hey, John, how are you? Okay, let's try that then. Ready? Guess we'll do this. This stupid thing's plugged in because I needed to charge it. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, first of all, let me give you all this. I'm going to put that up in there, and then I'll tag all this stuff in the description later. These are the books and resources that I've used so far, and things that I would like to go ahead and read later. And then here are some more of the YouTube people that I've used. If you want to look them up, again, I'll put them in the description later. But here, give you a better view. All right, and hopefully that is reading the correct way for you, because I know this mirrored image thing sometimes is goofy. All right, let's put that aside. Look at this, I got notes. So what I've done, I wasn't sure I was going to approach this. I've taken each and every test that I had done, each piece of lab work, and I made multiple notations on all of it. So I'll give you one at a time. So we'll start with this one. This one is for the TSH. And it was with a reflex to free T4 if it was abnormal. Mine came up in the normal range, so anyway. So last year and then this year. So last year it was 2.3. This year it is 1.93. The average values of these some say 0.44 to anywhere to 3.98. Some say 0.40 to 2.5. So either way, I'm still in that range, but to the higher end of it. And so what this indicates is it indicates your thyroid conditions. So what these markers can be used for, the TSH, what it can be used for, and again, I'm just kind of giving you a broad perspective of this. I am not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. This is just what I've looked up and what I've researched on my own. So take it for what it is. Thyroid can affect metabolism, weight, body temperature, mood, heart function, muscle control, digestion, growth, and brain function and development. That's a lot, isn't it? Your thyroid, that little butterfly, little gland, it sits right up in here. Can you believe that? Okay. A lot of times things that will affect this is if you have a deficiency in iodine. Let's see, what else can I tell you? The TSH produced in the pituitary gland and stimulates the thyroid gland. Okay, so that's where the TSH is what they're measuring. An imbalance in TSH gives info about the thyroid's ability to produce and secrete hormones. The hormones it secretes are the things that have direct correlation and function to metabolism, weight, body temperature, mood, heart function, muscle control, digestion, growth, brain function, and development. Okay? And when you have low levels, it could indicate that you have hyperthyroidism, If you have high levels, it could indicate hypothyroidism. Again, I fell within their quote-unquote normal range. I don't take it for what it is. These ranges that are made up in these markers, as I discussed before, they're the markers for the average healthy person. I don't know how healthy we are. I don't know that they're average for the healthy person. I think they're average for the population, but not necessarily healthy. So take it for what it's worth. The next one is the hemoglobin A1C. And if you haven't heard of this, it has to do with, it's one of the things they check for to see if you are diabetic, pre-diabetic, and it will give them some idea over the last 3 months of where your glucose levels have been. So, last year, mine was 5.9, indicating that I was pre-diabetic, and that my average daily glucose probably was about 120. In 2023, that now read 6.4, which would be indicative of a type 2 diabetic. Hey, Jim, with an average glucose reading of 137. Now, you would think that would be scary, like, oh, it went up. Well, the last 2 months, January and February, I got tested in early March with these tests. So January and February, now you got to go back 1 more month, because remember I told you it's an average of 3 months. Hey, T-Bone. So when you go back to December, when I was feeling super crappy, and one of the reasons I decided to explore all these things, I probably was type 2 diabetic. Type 2 diabetic. Tolga, how are you, hun? So, with that in mind, the doctor said, well, your A1C has actually gone up. We could put you on metformin right now, just a small dose. And I go, nah, how about if we retest in 30 days or 90 days rather, and we'll do this again. Because I've been taking my blood sugar with a daily meter, taking the finger stick prick, and it's averaged 100 every single time for weeks. So I don't think that A1C is an accurate description of what I am now doing. And I certainly don't want to be on metformin. So anyway, let's see. In May, I have another appointment to go back and have my labs redone. All right, next, the A1C. The glucose mainly comes from carbohydrates in foods and beverages. And it is your body's main source of energy. All cells use glucose. All of them. Every single cell in your body uses glucose. It is its energy. Now, to keep glucose in a healthy range, it uses insulin, which is produced by the pancreas. All right? This is an important connection here. To keep glucose in a healthy range, it uses insulin. All right? Insulin is that hormone that is also, what's the connection I want to make? Like all the hormones that are controlled by your thyroid. Okay, so we're starting to make connections here. You see this? All right. Anyway, elevated glucose, hyperglycemia, results in diabetes. The pancreas doesn't make enough insulin, or the body isn't using it properly. Okay? Hemoglobin, part of the red cells. I'm sorry, that goes into the next. So I told you it was the hemoglobin A1C. Hemoglobin is the part of the red blood cell that carries oxygen throughout your body. Glucose sticks to the hemoglobin, and it can stay there for 3 months. All right, which is the average life of a red blood cell, unless you are a carnivore. If you are a carnivore, chances are your red blood cells last longer than 3 months on the average, which again changes some of these markers that the average healthy human being should fall within. So you got to keep that in mind as well. And let's see, what can I tell you about that? You can have falsely high results, and they can be the result of anemia, which means you have low iron levels, and certain medications, for instance, steroids, organ transplants, and a vitamin B12 deficiency can give you false high results for the A1C. So it's not just the measure of the glucose. There's a lot of things that kind of go in between there. So know your stuff, and when you go in and you have an issue with this, you might want to sit down and talk to your doctor with an educated mindset behind you so that you know what's going on and you can ask the right kind of questions. All right. I'm not going to go too far into any more of these because I think the next one is my CBC. That is the complete blood count. And that one gets kind of elaborate. It talks about dehydration, heart disease, lung disease, kidney disease, kidney failure, certain cancers, leukemia. There's a lot of things that go into that one. So I'm going to save that one for another time. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a nice one. Oh my God, I've got how to end this. Oh no, what do I do? Oh, we're here forever. That's it. You're out of luck. Really? Share, mute microphone, save, highlight, cancel. Okay, I guess we're not shutting this off. You're out of luck. Bye, Toga. Guess what? You can just stare at my... There you go. Isn't that nice? You can see how dusty my counter is there, right? Hey, Greg Pride. NFG ... Just stay live until the phone dies. And I'll just unplug it. I'll just let you stare at the... You guys just want to stare at the plug? All right, well, in that case, I'll see you later. I'm going to go ahead and walk away now. Bye-bye.